Hey there. So I wanted to talk about a point that Jon Stewart made the other day that I thought was well said. It was an excellent point. It's worth talking about. And what he was looking at was how right now Democrat analysts and pundits and politicians are kind of trying to figure out, well, what went wrong? How did we lose the election, right? And they're having this whole kind of dissection of what was the issue. And one of the main things that seems to be coming up is oh, well, Democrats have gone too woke, right? They've gone too far left of center. They're talking about these woke issues, and specifically this idea that Democrats are just supporting the trans population too much, right? That you now see some Democrat politicians coming out and saying, well, even I don't support boys playing girl sports and things like that. And John's point wasn't a philosophical or an ethical one. It was a point about where. Where do you see this? Where do you see it happening where there's all of these Democrats who are making this part of their platform that are talking about trans rights and trans issues? You just don't see it. It's just not happening. The closest that you get is trying to drudge up like one policy issue that Harris had discussed in the past back in California. You just don't see it happening. And so what's really happening here, if I were to try and add on to John's point, I think what you really see happening, really what the issue comes down to is for many conservatives, particularly amongst the MAGA movement, whatever it is that's identified with liberalism, whatever it is that's identified with Democrats, it doesn't matter. That thing is going to be bad. They've just decided it's bad, right? Forgive my use of language, but think about words like libtard, right? Where is an equivalent pejorative that's used to describe conservatives? There just isn't one. The idea of things like, oh, well, you're a snowflake. Again, where do you find that similar use of language against conservatives? If it isn't. Conservatism has managed to make the entirety of the conversation of liberalism and liberals just a bad thing, just a thing that is considered weak. And what is it that they consider weak and bad? Care. Well, okay, I care about immigrants, and I care about trans people, and I care about the black population, and I care about the poor. And oh no, that makes you a snowflake. How dare you? What an awful person. You're not really willing to go to the mat for it. So by my lights, really the only thing that Democrats can do is just remind people that care, that genuine concern isn't a weakness. It's something that I also share about you. And if you stopped acting the fool, if you stopped acting like concern and care for other people with such a problem, we could advocate for you as well. But while you're busy trafficking in hate, we just can't do it.